So today we are going to discuss very important concept. Okay. So one of the very important concept in the real time and as well as in the interview point of view. Okay. We have to wait for a few minutes. So still there are a few people yet to join. So we'll wait for 1 more minute, okay? For others to join. So we'll start up the class. So give us heading as a functions, guys. Functions. అవును ట్రిగర్స్ అర్థమైంది కదా అందరికి
Yes.
So one of the very important concepts. Okay. Done with the sliding functions?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah. So manaku just observe guys. So manaki emante functions lo two types untayi. Okay. So one will be system functions. Okay. Another one will be user defined functions. Okay. So we will be having these types of, okay. So system functions and user defined functions. Okay. As we have discussed already about system functions. Okay. So which are include of these things, string functions. Remember, right?
Yes.
Aggregate functions, next ranking functions.
Data.
So these all are comes under system defined functions. Okay. Now, so user defined functions. Okay. So the developer is going to develop the functions. So
No.
these functions will be developed by the system only. Okay. So when we install the SQL server, ఈ functions మనకు automatically మన దాంట్లోకి create అయిపోతాయి అన్నమాట. Okay. Now, but these user defined functions will be created by the users and means developers. As okay. So developers ఏం చేస్తారంటే user defined functions ని create చేస్తారు అన్నమాట. అర్థమవుతుందా అండి?
Okay.
Okay. So why do we need to create the user defined functions? Why do we need to create the user defined functions? Okay. So user defined functions is one of the best feature. Okay. Now one of the best features. So దీనికన్నా మించిన feature ఇంకోటి ఉంది. So there is a stored procedure. There is a different set of a concept. Okay. So as of now, we don't discuss about stored procedures. Okay. We'll discuss about user defined functions only. Okay. So user defined functions is one of the best feature. Okay. It can hold the complex queries on mother. Can hold the complex queries. So as like we have discussed about view. So view kuda manaku complex queries store chestundi, correct andi?
Yes.
Okay. So in the same way manaku user defined function kuda manaku complex queries store chestuntundi annamata. Okay na, but there is only one change. Okay, there is only one change. A change ఏంటంటే okay, so మనం user defined functions లో మనం parameters pass చేయొచ్చు. Understanding? User defined functions లో మనం ఏం చేయొచ్చు? Parameters ని pass చేయొచ్చు. And also we can perform DML operations inside the function. అర్థమవుతుందా అండి? So user defined functions లో మనం parameters ని pass చేయొచ్చు. Okay, and as well we can perform the DML operation. Okay, but view lo manamu only we can store the complex query, correct andi?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So manam view just when we call the view we will get the output, right? So but manam user defined functions lo when we execute the function, I mean when we run the function, okay, so we will be passing the parameters anamata. So depends on the parameter we will get the output. Okay, so if you have a requirement to perform any operation, it's like a, not only any operation. Okay, so manaku only DML operation madam permissible. Okay, na? So if you wanted to perform any DML operations inside the function, means by using user-defined functions, you can able to perform. అర్థమవుతుందండి?
Okay.
So views, functions, both are very similar. Okay, there is a only one change. So there is a parameters and one more thing is a DML operation one perform చేయొచ్చు. So the rest of thing everything is similar. Understanding?
Okay.
Okay, so that's why I'm telling you. So we have a, everything is a interlinked. Okay, so when you know one thing, so another one will be easier. Okay, so manaku interview lo there might be a one question. Okay, so can you give me the differences between views and functions అని చెప్పేసి క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతారు అన్నమాట. అర్థమవుతుందా?
Okay.
Okay, so at that time you have to answer like, okay, so view user defined functions can accept the parameters. Okay, and also we can perform DML operations inside the function. Okay, but in the view we cannot give any parameters. Okay, we cannot perform any DML operation. So ఇది ఒక్కటే అన్నమాట difference, then rest of everything is similar only. Okay,
Okay.
understanding? So when we go in deeper you will come to know one by one. Okay, Nandi?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so just draw this diagram. Okay, so function will be from function. Okay, this one is a user defined. Okay, so under this we have a three important major function types. Okay, so this one we will call it as scalar function. Okay, this one is a inline table valued function. Okay, this one is multi table valued function. Okay, so మనము రియల్ టైమ్ లో ఎక్కువ ఏది యూజ్ చేస్తామంటే ఇన్లైన్ టేబుల్ వాల్యూడ్ ఫంక్షన్, అనదర్ వన్ ఇస్ ద స్కేలార్ ఫంక్షన్. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ యూజ్లెస్ వన్. ఐ టెల్ యూ వై ఇట్ ఇస్ యూజ్లెస్. ఓకే, scalar function and then inline table function. So these two are very, very, very important. Okay, these two are very, very used in the real time very widely. Okay, Nandi?
Okay.
So draw this diagram. So once done, please let me know.
So last one ఏంటిది? Inline function.
Inline table valued function.
Okay.
Inline table valued function. Another one is a multi-table valued function. Scalar function, inline table valued function, multi-table valued function. So these are the three functions we have in the user defined function. Dana?
Yes.
So we'll go by one. Okay, so give a side heading as a user defined function. So this is the thing we are going to discuss. So I wanted everyone to be understand this one. Okay, so whatever the task I will give, so I want everyone's answer. Okay, so including Ajay Kumar and Shravani Reddy, I mean whoever they are. Okay, so this is the only one topic we will be widely using in the real time. Okay, this one and another one is the stored process. So these two are very, very widely using concepts. So I don't want to like miss out anyone's answer. Done, everybody?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So give a side heading as a user defined functions. So once done means, okay, so write on the content. So then one short form lo UDF antam. Okay, na? User defined function, UDF. Okay.
Okay.
user defined function. So short form user defined function short form lo UDF. Okay, now so done with the writing, guys.
Yes.
Okay, so write down. User defined functions will be created by the user. User defined functions will be created by the user. Depends on the requirement. Depends on the requirement. Depends on the requirement. Which can hold the complex queries. Which can hold the complex queries. Which can hold the complex queries. Done na?
Yes.
Which can hold the complex queries. Okay, ready on the next point. So దీనికి కాస్త కంటెంట్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. Okay, so in the interview point of view, so they expect the content only. Okay, and the theoretical part. Okay.
Okay.
So write on the points. A function will accept. A function will accept. A function will accept only input parameters. Only input parameters. Only input parameters. Up to 1023. So మనము 1023 parameters pass చేయొచ్చు. Okay na?
Okay.
So whatever the points we discussed, okay, so each and everything we're gonna show you in the real time, I mean in the practical, okay? No need to worry. So I want everyone to be write down the content. Okay, so manaku interview point of view content export ద్వారా. Okay now.
Okay.
So the next point. So input parameters are input parameters are optional for the UDF. So UDF అంటే ఏంటి? User defined functions. So manamu we can pass or we might not pass. Okay, it's an optional anamata. Okay nandi?
Okay.
So depends on the requirement. Okay, so if we have a requirement, we can pass. If not, we can just leave as an empty. Okay.
Okay.
It's not mandatory to define input parameters for UDF. Done? Na?
Yes.
Okay. So next one. A function should return the function should return the function should return the output. The function should return the output. Comma, it is mandatory. Comma, it is mandatory. So మనకు views కూడా ఖచ్చితంగా మనకు output ఇవ్వాల్సిందే కదా అండి. Okay. So if there is no data, at least it has to show structure also, right? అలానే మనకు function కూడా ఏంటంటే so it has to return the output. Okay. So it is mandatory. Done అండి.
Yes.
Okay. So what are the next point? So మనము view ని ఎలా కాల్ చేస్తామండి? So how do we call the view? How do we call the view or how do we execute the view? So execution and view are రెండు అవుతాయి. How do we execute the view?
You're asked syntax to execute a view.
Yeah, syntax.
It's similar to table like create view, view name.
No, I'm not asking about creates execution. I'm asking about how do you call? Like we create చేస్తారు. Okay, దాన్ని మీరు ఎలా call? దాన్ని మీరు ఎలా చూస్తారు? Yeah. So let me give you clarification.
Select.
Okay? Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Calling is to view it, right?
Yes. Select star from view. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So దీన్ని మనం calling అంటాం అన్నమాట. అర్థమవుతుందా అండి? So how do we call the view means select star from view name. Okay. So how do we call the, see, the చాలా important terminology, okay? In the
Okay.
interview point of view, in the real time, okay? So calling antam anamata, okay? So how do we call the function? How do we call the stored procedure? How do we call the view? So ఇలా మనకి different types of objects ఉంటాయి అన్నమాట. Okay? So how do we call? So ఇది call అంటే మనం how do we execute అని చెప్పేసి అర్థం, okay?
Okay.
సో ఇక్కడ how do we call అంటే, so after creating the object, సో ఈ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ ని మీరు ఎలా అవుట్పుట్ తెప్పిస్తారని చెప్పేసి మీనింగ్, ఓకేనా అండి?
Okay.
హౌ డు వి కాల్ అంటే, సో ఆఫ్టర్ క్రియేటింగ్ ద ఆబ్జెక్ట్ దాన్ని మీరు ఎలా అవుట్పుట్ తీసుకొస్తారని చెప్పేసి కాల్ అనమాట. అండర్స్టూడ్ ఎవ్రీబడి?
Yes.
మ్యాండేటరీ టర్మినాలజీ దిస్ ఇస్, ఓకే? దెన్ అండి, సో హౌ డు వి కాల్ ద వ్యూ గైస్? హౌ డు వి కాల్ ద వ్యూ?
You wrote it right. Select star from.
Then why everybody is not answering? Only Tejashi is in the class over. అయ్యో, అప్పుడే ఒక లెఫ్ట్
Let's start from here.
Yeah. So please speak up, okay? So I think like you're like sleeping. So don't make me think in that way, okay? So I hope you're not sleeping. So we will call the view by using a select star from. Correct? So alane function kuda ante. So how do we call the function ante, okay? So by using select. So manaku function lo 3 types unnai kada andi.
Yes.
Scalar, inline, table value, okay? So scalar will be called with the select statement, okay? So
Okay.
inline table value and multi-table value function will be called as similar to the table, okay? Select star from function, okay, Nandi?
Okay.
Understanding? So a point a function should return the output. It is band icon with the pointer.
Yes.
Okay, so return the next point. The function should call with, the function should call. Okay, so I hope everybody knows what is call means.
Yes.
The function should call with, if it is scalar function, if it is scalar function, if it is scalar function, it will be called by using select statement. It will be called by using select statement. Then
Yes.
okay, so if it is inline table valued, inline table valued, inline table valued, or MTVF and also shortcut multi-table valued function, okay, Nandi? If it is scalar function, we will be called. If it is scalar function, we will be called by using select statement. Then Adi?
Yes.
Okay, so next, and if it is inline table valued or MTVF, or MTVF, it will be called like table. It will be called like table. Select star from function name and also. Okay, so I don't know, text. Select star from function. Okay, Nadi? So brackets we will pass the parameters. Okay, na?
Okay.
So if we have a parameters, if not, we can avoid it. Okay, Nadi?
Okay.
So scalar item just select function. Okay, na? So parameters. If we have a parameters, we will pass. If not, we'll just leave it up. Okay, Nandi? Okay. So I suggest you to give the schema name. Okay. For all the functions. Understanding?
Yes.
So this is the best practice to give the schema name. Then Nandi?
Yeah.
Next. Inside the function, inside the function, we have to use the function. We have to use only the select statement. Inside the function, we have to use only the select statement. the select state, comma, comma. In MTBF, MTBF అంటే multi-table valued function, correct?
Yes.
In MTBF, we can perform DML operations as well. We can perform DML operations as well. Inside the MTBF, we can perform DML operations. Anandi?
Yes.
Here, right on the next point. Those DML operations, will not affect base table. Will not affect base table. Done, Andy?
Yes.
ఓకే, సో మనం ఎటువంటి డిఎంఎల్ ఆపరేషన్స్ మనము ఇన్సైడ్ పర్ఫామ్ చేసినా కూడా మనకి ఏమంటే ఆ డిఎంఎల్ ఆపరేషన్ మనకు బేస్ టేబుల్ పైన ఎఫెక్ట్ అవ్వవు. ఓకేనా అండి?
Okay.
ఓకే, సో నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్. Inside the function, we can use table variables only. Inside the function, we can use only table variables. Anandi?
Yes.
Okay, comma, we cannot use temporary tables. One of the very, very important. Okay, so మీకు differences చెప్పినప్పుడు చెప్పాను కదా అండి.
Yeah.
So table variable can be used inside the function and as well as the stored process. Okay, but temporary table we can use only in the stored process but not in the function, right?
Yes.
Done with the point?
Yes.
Okay, right on the next point. Function will store only the logic. Function will store only the logic. Done? It will not store any. Okay, structure store చేసుకోదు. Like it will not store any. It will just store only the logic only. Okay. So మనకు view అనేది మనకు structure store చేసుకుంటుంది కదండి.
Yes.
But function does not store anything. It will store just only the logic. That's it. Done?
Yes.
Right on the next point. Function should not return XML data type. Function should not return XML data type. Function should not return the XML data type. Done?
Yes.
Okay, right on the next point. Inside the function, this is one of the drawback. Okay, so if it's a point, one of the drawback. Okay, Nandi?
Okay.
Inside the function, we cannot perform. Inside the function, we cannot perform error handling or execution handling. We cannot perform error handling or exception handling. Done?
Error handling or?
Error handling or exception.
Okay.
Exception. So this is one of the drawback. Okay, now.
Okay.
Done?
Yes.
Right on the next point. Inside the function, we can call another function. Inside the function, we can call another function. Another function we can call another function. Up to 32. Up to 32. Okay, so inside a function we can call it to 32 on. Okay, now.
Okay.
Okay. So at the next point. Inside a function, we cannot call any stored procedure. Inside a function, we cannot call any stored procedure. Then,
Yes.
if you read on the next point, function can be used or called. Function can be used or called in select and update statements. In select and update statements. Okay. So select అనేది మనకి mandatory. Okay. So update అనేది కూడా మనము use చేయొచ్చు. I'll show you. Okay. So I think I have shown you when we are combining the full name, right? So middle name, last name, first name ఇవన్నీ మనం కలిపాం కదా అండి. concat అనే ఫంక్షన్ వాడి, right?
Concat.
So update statement వాడే కదా మనం చేసాం అవన్నీ. Okay.
Yes.
So like that we can able to use. Okay. Done with the point?
Yeah.
So any questions in the I mean ఈ points అన్ని మీకు క్లియర్ గా ఉన్నాయి కదా అండి? Okay, so we will discuss everything in one by one. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'm back. Okay, so right on the next point. We have different types of user-defined functions which are listed below. We have different types of user-defined functions which are listed below. Done, Andy?
Yes.
UDF concept. So under this we have a title. User function. Next one is user value functions. Multi-table value function. Okay. Madam, there are functions and inline table value function. The multi-table value function. So we'll discuss one by one. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can stop me there. Okay, you can ask me. Okay, Nandi? So don't keep your questions in your mind. Finished up?
Yes.
Yeah. Now we'll discuss one by one. give a first heading is a scalar function. The first one we are going to discuss the scalar functions. Done, Andy?
Yes.
Okay. So right now, scalar function is a type of UDF. Scalar function is a type of UDF. Which will return output. Which will return output. Which will return output in a singular value. In a singular value. సో మనకు స్కేలర్ అంటే సింగిల్ కదండి అర్థం.
Yes.
సో మనకు సింగిల్ వాల్యూ అవుట్పుట్ లో వస్తుంది. ఓకేనా?
Okay.
Okay. So let's see next point. Scalar function will be called. Scalar function will be called with select statement. With select statement. Done?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how we can create the scalar function? Okay. And so it create. I mean, ఇది మీకు అర్థమైంది అనుకోండి. Scalar function అర్థమైంది అనుకోండి. So inline developed function is very similar అన్నమాట. So there's only one line is a change because everything is similar. Okay.
Okay. So just see guys, okay. Create function, okay. Function. Okay. So ఇక్కడ మనం parameters pass చేస్తాం. ఓకేనండి? Okay.
Parameter 1. So we can pass up to 1023. Correct? Parameter 2 up to. So we can pass over. Okay. So next as begin. So ఇక్కడ మనకు చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఉంది అన్నమాట. ఓకేనా? So as returns. ఓకే. సో ఇక్కడ ఏంటంటే మనకు ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ అవుట్పుట్ ఇవ్వాలన్నమాట. ఓకేనా అండి? అంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు మనకు ఈ ఫంక్షన్ ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తే మనకు అవుట్పుట్ వస్తుంది కదండి. సో విచ్ మీన్స్ సో వెన్ ఎవర్ వి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ ఎనీ ఫంక్షన్ వి హావ్ టు గెట్ ద అవుట్పుట్, రైట్?
Yes.
మనం ఈ ఫంక్షన్ క్రియేట్ చేసే ముందే మనకు ఒక ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ అవుట్పుట్ ఉంటుంది, కరెక్టా? ఓకే. సో ఆ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ అవుట్పుట్ యొక్క డేటా టైప్ ఏంటి అని చెప్పేసి మనం ఇక్కడ ఇచ్చేయాలి. అర్థమవుతుందండి?
Okay.
ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ డేటా టైప్, ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ డేటా టైప్. Expected output data type. ఓకేనా? As begins return ఇక్కడ వేరియబుల్ ఇస్తాం. ఓకేనా? అవుట్పుట్ వేరియబుల్ ఇస్తాం. సో ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏంటంటే వేరియబుల్ పార్ట్ చాలా చాలా ఎక్కువ వాడతాం అన్నమాట. ఓకే అండి?
Okay.
దట్స్ వై ఐ యూస్ టు డూ ఇట్. సో మనకు వేరియబుల్స్ చాలా కీ రోల్స్ ప్లే చేస్తాయి అన్నమాట. ఓకేనా? సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు సాల్వ్ ద కాంప్లెక్స్ క్వరీస్, ఓకే, సో by using variables you can easily solve. Okay.
Okay.
Click on the syntax. So we'll discuss few of the examples so that you will get the clear picture. So once done with the syntax, please let me know.
Done with it.
Done, huh? Okay. So now we'll see one example. So I'll give you one of the smaller example. Okay. Then we'll discuss a little bit complex one. Okay, Andy?
Okay.
We'll see how to add two values. Okay. How to add two values. Okay. So మనం two values ఇక్కడ మనం ఇస్తే మనకు దాని యొక్క అవుట్పుట్ మనకు రావాలి. కరెక్ట్ అండి? It means we have to pass two values. కరెక్ట్? అంటే మనకు two values ఇవ్వాలంటే there has to be some storage space. కరెక్ట్ అండి? ఆ two values స్టోర్ చేసుకుంటే మనకు ఒక storage space కావాలి. కరెక్ట్? Okay. So for that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna create, we're gonna take the parameters. Okay, Nandi? Create function. Okay. So fn, so function will be defined with the fn and okay, fn add values. Okay.
Okay.
Understanding? Next.
Yes.
So we have to pass two values, right? So our
Yes.
values by parameters I will pass. Okay, now value 1 as an integer. Next, value 2 as an integer. Okay, Nandi?
Yes.
Okay. So as so return. So manaku when we call the function, so ఈ function మనం call చేసాం మనకు వచ్చే output when we add two values, we will get the output in numeric only. కరెక్టా అండి? మన expected output ఏంటి? Type integer. కరెక్టా? That's why I'm giving return as int. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So let me declare one variable because I need to store the output in variable, right? Output as an integer. Okay. At the rate of out is equal to at the rate of value 1 plus value 2. Okay. So return at the rate of this so this is small change. Okay, so it returns before as రాస్తుంది. Small change. Change.
Yes.
Okay. So this one. Okay, so command completed successfully. Okay. So now let's see how will I call the function. Okay. So ఈ కోడ్ అర్థమైంది కదా అందరికి? Okay. So by using select statement we will call. So I told you to it's better to use the schema name. Okay. So dbo dot fn underscore add okay. So in the brackets I will pass parameters. So 50 comma. Okay. So when I execute this, so output నాకు ఏమొచ్చిందో right? So 50 plus 20 we will get in 70 only, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So take another example. So this is basic example. Okay. అర్థమైందా ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అందరికి?
Yes.
సో తేజస్వి ఒక్కడే వింటుంది క్లాస్, మీకు ఎవరు వినట్లా. ఓకే, మై టైమ్ ఆల్సో కమ్.
A lot of disturbance from my side. That's why I'm not speaking anything.
Keep mute. once done, write down. So how to call the scalar function అని చెప్పి దీన్ని రాసుకోండి. అసలు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్. ఓకే.
Okay.
Once done, please let me know.
Yes, done it.
ఓకేనా? So this is one of the example. Okay. సో దీనికి క్వశ్చన్ రాసుకుంటే రైట్ ఏ క్రియేట్ ఏ ఫంక్షన్ టు యాడ్ టూ వాల్యూస్ అని చెప్పి రాసుకుంటాం. క్వశ్చన్ వచ్చి క్రియేట్ ఏ ఫంక్షన్ టు యాడ్ టూ వాల్యూస్. డన్.
Yes.
ఓకే. సో నేను మీకు కొన్ని టాస్క్లు ఇచ్చాను కదా అండి. ఓకే. సో ఫైండ్ అవుట్ ద గివెన్ డేట్ ఈస్ మండే ఆర్ నాట్, కరెక్టా? సో వీకెండ్ ఆర్ నాట్. సో ఈ టాస్క్ ఇచ్చాను కదా. ఓకే. దీస్ టాస్క్ విల్ అచీవ్ బై యూజింగ్ ఫంక్షన్. ఓకే. స్కేలర్ ఫంక్షన్ వాడి మనం అచీవ్ చేస్తాం. ఓకేనా?
Okay.
ఓకే. సో మనం ఒక డేట్ పాస్ చేస్తున్నాం, కరెక్ట్ అండి అక్కడ. క్రియేట్ ఫంక్షన్. గెట్ వీకెండ్ చెక్. ఓకే. సో వీకెండ్. ఓకే. ఇది మన ఫంక్షన్. ఓకే. సో వి హావ్ టు పాస్ వాట్ డేట్, కరెక్ట్? ఇన్ డేట్ ఇస్తాం. ఓకే. సో ఇట్ విల్ బి డేట్, రైట్? సో మనకు అవుట్పుట్ ఏం రావాలి? మనకి క్యారెక్టర్స్ లో అవుట్పుట్ వస్తుంది, కరెక్ట్ అండి? రిటర్న్ character of, let me take it as some 100 characters. Okay. So as begin and okay. So let's see. So let me declare the variable, okay, to store the output. Okay. Out will be character of. Right. Okay, Andy. So now the logic begins. Okay. So if let me take this part of okay, so we comma at the rate of date. So in date. Right. Okay. If it is fall under 1,7, correct Andy? Begin and end. Set the rate of out is equals to given date is can. So next else so begin and okay, so this one as
Okay.
have to return the output, right? Okay. Let me execute this one. Okay. So now let me call this function. Select the DBO. Okay. So in the brackets, let me pass the today's date. Okay. So to get the today's date, we can use by using get date, right?
Yes.
So execute this one. నాకు అవుట్పుట్ ఏమొచ్చిందండి?
Given date is not weak.
సో షట్ అనేది కాస్త వాళ్ళకి లాంగ్వేజ్ షప్ అని పెట్టు. ఓకే.
Okay.
సో నెక్స్ట్ ఇఫ్ ఐ గివ్ ద yesterday's date, ఓకే, we slash this one. The given date is weekend enjoy. Okay.
Okay.
Understanding or any confusions in this one?
No.
Guys, please respond. No, so there is only one person is responding. I want everyone to be understood this one. ఎందుకంటే ఇది చాలా ఎక్కువ రియల్ టైమ్ లో వాడతారు. ఓకేనా?
Yes.
So create a function to check given date is weekend or not అని చెప్పి write on the code. Done అండి?
Yeah, I'm done.
Then
So any questions in this one?
No.
Any questions? Anybody?
Currently, no from my side.
So 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 you prepare like నేను మీకు టాస్క్ ఇచ్చాను కదండి. So checking the day like it is a Monday or not నీకు కొన్ని ఇచ్చాను కదండి మీకు. Okay, so do with the function scalar function. Okay,
Okay.
so next వచ్చేసి ఏం చేస్తారు, so create a function. Okay, so మీరు ఇచ్చిన వాల్యూ ఈవెన్ ఆర్డర్. Okay అండి. So when you pass one number, so the number has to be a even or odd. So మనకి even or checker. Okay, so you need to ask me చేసి చూడండి. Okay అండి.
Yes.
So I am expecting the answer from everyone. Okay, so including, see, I don't want to take the names, so I want everyone's answer. Okay andy. So
Yeah,
whatever you have worked, okay, so I don't mind. So this time I'll be very serious. Okay, so in the context, this is very, very important. Okay.
Yeah.
So now give a side heading as an inline table valued function. Inline table valued function. Done na?
Yes.
I done. Inline table valued function is a type of the UDF. Inline table function is a type of the UDF. UDF, which will return output in tabular format. Which will return output in tabular format. Tabular format. Okay అండి. Done with the definition.
Yes.
Okay, so మనకు scalar function మనకు single value output ఇస్తుంది. Okay, but inline table value function ఏంటంటే, so it will give the output in a tabular format. అంటే same difference. Okay అండి.
Okay.
So creation also will be very similar. Create function. So నేను f simple గా short name వేస్తాను function. So here we will be passing the parameter 1, 2. Okay, so returns. Okay, so మనకు అవుట్పుట్ మనకు టేబుల్ కదండి వచ్చేది. Okay, that's why I'm using returns table అన్నమాట. ఓకేనా. Next as begin and end. సో ఈ రిటర్న్ లో మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే లాజిక్. ఓకేనండి. సో టేక్ ద సింటాక్స్. సో ఇక్కడ లాజిక్ లో మనం రాసేదే కోడ్ అన్నమాట. ఓకేనా.
Fine.
Done with the syntax is.
Yes.
So we'll see one example. Okay. So I want to show you like where those functions will be stored. Okay. So go to database. So in master lo create chesanu. So we have a programmability. So programmability manaku functions and topic undi kadandi. Okay. So expand this. So this is system functions. So this is table valid function. Ante ippudu manamu inline multi table create chese indulo store avutayi. Okay na. So మనం previously create చేసిన scalar functions కాబట్టి. Okay, so if you expand, so here we will get all this. So we have created add values, right? Next weekend checker. Correct Andy?
Yes.
Yeah, so these are the functions will be created. Okay, now so any questions guys in this one?
No.
All right. Yeah. So let me take this table. So ఈ query నేను తీసుకుంటానండి, ఓకేనా? So let me create this one. Create function, okay? So fn underscore get employee data. Okay. So నేనేమంటే, so depends on the employee ID I want to get the output అన్నమాట, ఓకేనండి? Depends on the employee ID I want to get the output. Okay, so it's, see, so as of now I don't pass any parameter, okay? నేను parameter ఏది pass చేయకుండా నేను output తీసుకున్నాను, ఓకేనా? Table, okay? I'm creating in the master database, but taking the data from the from where? Adventure works, correct అండి? So this is a syntactical error. Yeah. So in this one we don't need to pass this end and so we don't need to pass a begin and end, okay?
Okay.
So let's start. So the calling of the view is different, okay అండి? So ఈసారి మనకు tabular format లో output వచ్చేది. Execute this. We have to give the bracket up. So when we have a parameters or not, we have to pass these brackets. Okay, Andy?
Okay.
Understood?
Yes.
Just change some little bit of a syntax, okay? So begin end creation, okay na? Begin end creation, just write on this. Just strike out. Write down this example. So this how to call an application, okay na? So once done, please let me know.
Constant, please let me know that.
One second. Yes, done with it.
Done, na?
Yeah.
So any questions, guys? In this concept, any questions? So local mirror single table use చేసుకోవచ్చు or multiple tables. Okay, so let's see how to alter it. Okay. So now I wanted to use the parameter. Okay, Nandi.
Okay.
The rate of business ID is integer. Okay. Where let me enter this one. So ఇక్కడ నేను 5 ఇచ్చాను అనుకోండి. So I will get the 5 output. Okay, Nandi. So previously I used to get all the outputs, right? I mean all the records, right? So now I have given the employee as a parameter. Okay? So when a parameter ఇచ్చానంటే నాకు ఆ parameter బట్టి నాకు output వస్తుంది. Now,
Okay.
understood?
Yes.
So tomorrow we're gonna see the multi-table valid function. Okay, Nandi?
Yeah.
So please finish the task whichever I have given. Okay. So I'll be expecting from everyone. Okay, Nandi?
Yeah.
Let me share the script with you. This one. Any questions, guys? Anybody, any questions you can ask me? Any questions?
Currently, no from my side.
Okay. So if no questions, shall I stop recording the class?
Yep.